Hey everybody, Jacob Lyle with Wildflow. Today we're at the Dixie Deer Classic in Raleigh, North Carolina, shooting episode 9 of Taking on the Wild. We're going to highlight a little bit about Wake County Wildlife Club that puts on the Dixie Deer Classic. Stay tuned.
Wildflow Land and Wildlife Management was founded in 2018 with the desire and passion to develop and maintain natural habitat and its wildlife. Our mission is to create future values and opportunities for all of our customers, their properties, and the wildlife that call them home. We want to take you along on this journey in our video series, Taking on the Wild, where we bring you along on this wildlife adventure that we call Every Day.
So the Dixie Deer Classic is an event that's held every year on the first weekend in March here in Raleigh, North Carolina at the State Fairgrounds. It's open to all ages. The proceeds from this event goes towards wildlife conservation and education. We're going to show you some of the stuff you'll see if you make it up here, but there is a lot more than this. If you have never been, I would highly suggest you grab a friend or family member and come on up here and check it out. We're here at the Dixie Deer Classic with GW Atkinson. The Dixie Deer Classic is put on by the Wake County Wildlife Club, and GW is a past president of the Wake County Wildlife Club. And we wanted to talk with him a little bit about the Dixie Deer Classic as a whole. So this is kind of going to be a little Q&A session. First question, how long has the Wake County Wildlife Club been around?
So the Wake County Wildlife Club was originally chartered in 1966. And from what I understand, they tried twice. The first time didn't take, so they did it again, and then it took. It was just a group of outdoorsmen that had a common interest in hunting and fishing. That's how they started.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How long has the Dixie Deer Classic been going on?
So the Dixie Deer Classic, this is our 43rd year, and I think originally started in 1980 or 81, and we've done it every year since except COVID. What we're really all about is wildlife conservation and education. So that's the simplest thing I can tell you. It's wildlife conservation and education. And we have probably taught close to 10,000 students that have come to the Wake County Wildlife Club hunter education classes and have gotten their hunter education certification through the Wake County Wildlife Club.
Well, to piggyback on that, I took my hunter safety course at the Wake County Wildlife Club many moons ago. I'm 31, and I believe I took that class when I was 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
and some of our members are really proud. I think your dad is one of them that was one of the first hunter ed instructors certified by the state back when they first started doing it.
Tell me about the formation of the Dixie Deer Classic. Was this an avenue that you guys came up with to help fund different organizations that you guys work with?
Absolutely. The Dixie Deer Classic started in 1980, 1981, but before that, they used to do a art show at North Hills Shopping Center.
Oh, wow.
And that's how they raised funds to do all their wildlife conservation education activities. Then they had this idea about, let's put on a deer show and start collecting records for the state of North Carolina for the biggest deer. And so that's how they started. And it's interesting looking back at some of the history. Fred Bear used to be here, Dick Idle, Ted Nugent was here. So we've had quite a few people from the outside that have been here, the real common names. It's become more than just a deer show now. We've got all kinds of different things. We've got kids fishing. We've got dock dogs. We've got venison chili cook-off now that's expanded into 2 days. And if you walk around, you'll see more vendors than just, deer hunting.
So somebody can come to the state fairgrounds here in Raleigh, and it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's always the first weekend in March.
That's right.
Every year.
Yep.
How much money would you say that you guys put towards conservation on an annual basis, and how much would you say you have to date total?
So we, over the years, have probably contributed somewhere close to $1.4 or $1.5 million
Wow.
to conservation education. We send 36 kids to summer camp every year for free. An interesting story about that is I've met at least 2 wildlife biologists with the Wildlife Resource Commission that both went to fur fishing game camp when they were kids. I met the state deer biologist a couple of years ago here and found out that he went to that camp with his brother when they were kids. And he said if it hadn't been for the free scholarship that they got from the Wake County Wildlife Club, they probably wouldn't have been able to afford to go to that camp. And that gives me chills every time I tell that story to somebody, because you never know the impact you're going to make with the work that you do here. And so a lot of people think we're just a hunting club, but we do things like that. And we also make donations to other like-minded organizations.
See, that's really neat and interesting to hear, because most people, they think that the Dixie Deer Classic is just a wildlife expo show, but it's really cool to hear the finance side behind it, because it's not like this is money that's being made and people are just buying things for themselves with it. It's going towards conservation. And one thing I kind of wanted to highlight, being a Raleigh native, is that, and also being involved with the Wake County Wildlife Club my whole life, between you guys and my dad being a member, is, some people come to it 2 or 3 times and they might be like, hey, I've got something else going on that weekend. Right. But I think just to let folks know that the money they're spending to be able to come see this show is being spent wisely.
Yep.
Do you guys take private donations outside of?
Absolutely. People looking for a tax donation, can make that into the foundation. But the other thing I wanted to point out about the show too, and some other organizations marvel at this, but we have over 250, close to 300 volunteers, members, family, friends that help us run this event. So without that, we couldn't really do this.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, if anybody's watching this video wants to get involved with the Wake County Wildlife Club or the Dixie Deer Classic, our contact info is on this, and I can put them in touch with you, GW.
Absolutely. That'd be great.
Well, thank you for answering our questions today.
Absolutely, man. My pleasure.
Enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for watching this episode of Taking on the Wild here in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Dixie Deer Classic. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. That'll let you know when our next video is coming out. For now, take care.